most powerful revelations I've ever had from the Bible is the revelation of the purpose of prayer and fasting. My wife and I went on a 40-day fast a few years ago. I was doing a Murph workout every day during that fast, so I was taking in a bare minimal number of calories. I would say between 1,200 and 1,400, only through shakes, blended shakes, protein shakes. But it was powerful because we were not fasting for something to happen outside of us. We were fasting based on the revelation of God through the scriptures. That the whole point of fasting is the recognition that something needs to change within us. I'm looking to God for a new point of view, a new perspective. There's another layer to my belief that I've yet to reach. There's another level to my image I've yet to realize. There's another place in perspective I've yet to capture. I am plagued with more unbelief than I can imagine. God has got my blind spot, and He's making it known to me that what's keeping me from the destiny He has paid for me is a clarity of identity. It's called the faith. I must allow Him to make me, shape me, mold me, and that happens through a prayer and a fast. You can see it for yourself in the book of Mark, chapter 9, the story of Jesus' interaction with the father who had the boy, with the demonized boy, essentially. Who knows how many years he had been plagued with this demon spirit, but it would send him into convulsions. He would be foaming at the mouth. He would be thrown into the fire, into the water. The demon was literally trying to kill this boy. And who knows the trouble and the torment it caused this precious family. But what's interesting is the man came to Jesus. Well, first he came to the disciples. Let's make a note of it. He fully expected the disciples to be able to handle the demon spirit because they are the ones with Jesus. They were known for being the ones that were with Him. So if they really were of His crew, they should be able to do what Jesus was doing if they were paying attention. They were walking in the full power of His way, but they couldn't get it done, so He came to Jesus. So one thing that's interesting in the Passion Translation, the man says to Jesus, if there's anything you can do to help us, please have compassion. Please have mercy on us. And Jesus said to him, why do you say if? What do you mean if? It was a funny response. It was as if Jesus was saying, don't you know, my friend, that I know who I am? Don't you know how easy it is for the healed and the authoritative and the powerful to eliminate the weak, to make the weak strong, to heal the plague, to reverse the curse, to take care of business? What do you mean, if I can handle it? So powerful. The demon was not a big deal to Jesus. It It wasn't a full-blown issue to Jesus. It was a full-blown issue to the man, to the parents, to the disciples. It was more than they can handle. And Jesus made them aware of that. What he said to the disciples. Oh, you faithless generation, how long will I be with you? And same to the man. He said, if you could believe, anything would be possible for you. If you believed, you could do it yourself. So let's get this straight. The issue is not the demons here. The issue is the belief and the unbelief of the disciples and of the man and the family. And so when we get to the tail end, after Jesus takes care of business, sets the boy free, and now he's alone with the disciples back at the crib, they asked him, why were we not able to take care of this? And he said, this kind comes out only by prayer and fasting. What kind? Not the demon, my friend. This is where the breakthrough comes. The revelation of what Jesus is saying is key, a must for you to go to that next level of understanding. The whole point of prayer and fasting is this. The prayer and fasting that brings the power is for the purpose of changing unbelief into belief. The issue of the disciples was not the demon, it was their unbelief. The issue of the man was not the demon. It wasn't the size of the demon, it was the size of the unbelief that needed to be handled and eradicated. Do you get it? The whole point of prayer and fasting is to eradicate your unbelieving perspective, your wrong view of self. It's what it all boils down to. You're not seeing yourself clearly, therefore you're not executing purpose. You have no power outside the clarity of your identity. There's no power for you to walk into your destiny. It's easy for a man who's walking in identity to slay the demons, set the people free, to feed the hungry, to raise the dead. But when you don't know who you are incapable of seeing why you are executed, my friend. I wish I could carry on in this message, but I've got to go. But double check, look at this section. It is unbelievably powerful. No longer should you be fasting for some external result. The external results are to become the result of you taking on a new identity through prayer and fasting. The shifting of your perspective is what happens. You become a new version, if you will. You're going, as the Bible would say it, if I have to use the biblical terms, you're going to move from image to image, glory to glory, faith to faith, through a sacrificial prayer and fasting, seeking God. Not for God to do something. That's selfish. God's not a genie in the bottle. His aim is not to do something outside of you. He's here to work inside of you, to transform you, to create in you into his perfect image. Why? So you will know who you are, so you will see the power and the authority flow through you. That's why you are. So when they ask you if you can do something about it, you will be in your full strength, full authority of your full identity, and you will say like Jesus, if I can, where's the boy? Bring him here. Be cast out, you deaf and dumb spirit. Be healed. We need to come into this revelation, my friend. He paid for us to assume an identity so we can walk back into our destiny, so the world can see what the light of the world looks like. What does it look like to walk in dominion? It's available. All you have to do is receive it, see it in the scripture, receive it, and allow God to work. God bless you. Power by grace.